Welcome to this explainer. We're diving right into a truly innovative project today called the Amalgamatic Orchestra, or just Orchestra for short. This framework is designed to completely revolutionize how we collaborate with AI on complex, structured tasks. If you've ever tried to build a massive software or documentation project using modern AI, you already know the pain points. Well, Orchestra is the solution. Let's get into it.
Let's start with a really frustrating reality. Modern AI tools are incredibly powerful, absolutely. But what happens when you ask one generic, single-response assistant to handle an entire long-term software architecture project? It's a disaster. The context inevitably gets lost. Critical decisions just vanish into the endless chat history. What starts out as a highly productive session usually devolves into a tangled mess.
There is actually a name for this villain, and it's called memory drift. Memory drift happens when you, or the AI, or even the project itself slowly loses track of earlier decisions, constraints, and implementation details. And the result? You're looking at duplicated work, scattered prompts, and incredibly poor handoffs between your work sessions. It is a massive drain on productivity.
Think about it. We've essentially been treating AI like a chaotic one-man band, right? We expect it to simultaneously play the drums of back-end code, the trumpet of UI design, and the harmonica of security compliance. It just doesn't work. But what if we structured it like a symphony? Enter the AI orchestra model. This means using specialized sections with highly focused skills, all carefully coordinated by a central conductor to ensure the right kind of thinking is applied to the exact right kind of task.
So, let's break down the mechanism here. Specialists and governance.
Instead of one generic catch-all assistant, your main point of contact is the conductor, and the conductor's sole job is to route your task to targeted specialists within what we call the execution layer. Need back-end object-oriented programming or cloud storage logic? The conductor tags in clockwork. Need technical writing? That goes straight to scribe. Need a database schema audit or cybersecurity and sauce integration checks? Hand it to chronicler or cipher. It can even be adapted for highly specific domains like finance systems. This modular approach completely eliminates the confusion of one single assistant trying to juggle every technical discipline.
But, execution is really only half the battle. Above these specialists sits the governance layer. Think of this as a freedom-first, need-based review system designed specifically to keep your project safe and aligned. You can brainstorm freely, but when it's time to actually implement, the authorities step in. The steward ensures your work aligns with business scope and lifecycle documentation. The governor evaluates legal compliance, privacy, and intellectual property. If you stray off course or violate a constraint, they can issue a blocked or revision-required status, instantly halting execution until the project is brought back into alignment.
Which brings us to the next critical piece, stopping memory drift. Enter the Arbiter. The Arbiter is the third, and honestly, perhaps the most vital governance authority. The Arbiter doesn't write code. It doesn't check licenses. Instead, the Arbiter is explicitly responsible for continuity, change review, and session recovery. It acts as the project's memory by relentlessly asking these vital questions. What changed? Why did it change? What source of truth was used? What decisions were made? What remains unresolved? And, most importantly, can the project safely continue from here?
To answer all those questions, the Arbiter uses a pretty unique tool. While a standard changelog simply records what lines of code shifted around, Orchestra builds an Arbiter Context Ledger. This is a process-level continuity trace. It doesn't just record the what, it records the why. It tracks your project's intent, the validations that passed, the active risks, and exactly how the next session should continue. It is literally the ultimate weapon against memory drift.
Okay, let's look at putting Orchestra to work. Orchestra integrates seamlessly into environments like VS Code, Codex, or Antigravity, and the workflow is a simple, highly effective loop. Step 1, start with a clear task and project context. Step 2, let the conductor find the right specialist. Step 3, the specialist implements the work. Step 4, governance steps in to review the risks. Step 5, Arbiter updates the context ledger. And finally, Step 6, safely close your laptop, knowing for sure that when you return tomorrow, you will continue seamlessly from a perfectly documented state. It guarantees your AI collaboration is structured from the very first prompt to the final output.
The practical use cases here are vast. Whether you're a developer needing to audit a massive legacy repository, a security team enforcing compliance checks, an educator designing prompt systems, Or a student keeping track of a huge capstone project, Orchestra is built for you. It seamlessly handles AI-assisted software development, documentation cleanup, and flawless handoffs between sessions. It even manages long-running project planning, like tracking decisions on whether runtime files should stay local or be committed. It essentially prevents your highly complex work from devolving into untracked chaos.
AI collaboration really doesn't have to be messy, forgetful, or chaotic. By assigning the right kind of thinking to the right kind of task and enforcing rigorous memory tracking, you take back control. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to ditch the messy, forgetful, generic chat prompts and start conducting your own AI symphony? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.